Please welcome to the stage, Ross and Maurice LaMarche!
How you guys doing?
That just made my life a lot easier. Y'all in the back, come on up, come on. We see you sitting in the back.
Don't be shy.
You're cool, we get it.
Don't be shy.
But you're not going to leave early.
I don't bite much.
There we go, that's better. Well, I would introduce him, but you all know who our honored guest is here, Mr. Maurice LaMarche.
Hey.
I am going to, just for fun, because I like doing this, I'm going to read the first line from your Wikipedia page.
Oh my, okay.
Because it's fun. Maurice LaMarche, born on a date we will not disclose here, because we want him to come back, is a Canadian voice actor and former stand-up comedian. He is best known for voicing the Brain in Animaniacs and his spin-off, as well as his Emmy-winning performances in Futurama.
Yes.
Is that right? Is that all accurate?
That's correct.
Okay, all right. Born in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Moved to Timmins, Ontario, soon after he was born. His childhood was filled with his, quote, own little world of cartoons and 60s television. Blah, 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 blah. We've all read it. First of all, thank you for coming.
March 30th, 1958, by the way, for those of you that are counting such things. Ages.
It's totally cool for you to say that.
Right.
It's just not cool for me to say that.
Yes, I do accept gifts. Sent to a post office box in Studio City, California, on March 30th,
So,
2018. I'll be 60. That's so weird to me. That is so weird. I've been down here 37 years from Toronto. And,
are you still used to it? Do you miss anything?
I still feel very Canadian. I was just telling Kelly, who walked me over, and I still feel so Canadian because I just, I've never lost that my super politeness powers from Canada.
So apologizing.
I'm sorry I was late, by the way.
Do you
I'm
stop?
sorry I was late.
Do you stop for people in the crosswalk? That's a very Canadian thing, especially
Absolutely.
in California.
Oh, absolutely. You don't?
No, in California, boom, right over, just straight through.
That's
Until,
wacky.
that's the thing that was shocking when we visit Canada. It's like, wait, they stopped for us. Or we
You just stop for them wherever they go.
Just let me know.
Yeah, it's sort of weird.
So, we could go over this vast sheet of paper that's every, character you've ever done, dating back to, I think it's 1980. Easter Fever, is that what I'm seeing here?
Yeah, actually, well, Easter Fever was the very first animated thing I ever did, which you can now find on YouTube. I lost it for years, couldn't get a copy of it, and then all of a sudden I'm browsing around YouTube. There it is, the very first thing I ever did. It was a company called Nelvana Films. We actually recorded it in 1979, and I played 6 characters on the thing. This company really took a liking to me, and they saw me at the Yuck Yucks Comedy Club doing all my impressions. And they needed a Steve Martin sound-alike for a Steed Martin, and a Don Rickles sound-alike for Don Rattles. And he's a rattlesnake, they're all roasting the Easter Bunny on a dais. And it's like, were you born that silly? And I am a wild and crazy steed. So that was my entry into the world of animation. And the first time I saw it, I couldn't believe I was getting to do this, because I was a cartoon geek from a kid. I loved cartoons as a form of entertainment. And the first time I heard my voice come out of the lips of an animated character, that was the closest thing to magic that I've ever felt. Just that feeling of, wow. Well, transcended physical laws here. A drawing has spoken in my voice.
Well, that leads to a question I have. Is like, you just said you did 6 characters in that. There was the episode of Critic where I think it's 29 voices in 30 minutes.
We laid down 29 voices. They had 29 characters in the episode, but they cut out, I think, 3 of them. So I think we got down to 26. I mean, a lot of them, they just have one line, on the street pizza. They go, pizza, get your pizza. It wasn't like each character took up a minute of the episode and it was all me. But yeah, they had so many characters for me. I did a lot of the celebrity impressions in the parodies, in the film parodies on the Critic, which was so much fun. I got to stretch so much as an actor. There was one time that they'd written, literally written the day before, so it was new pages. So as we were recording, it was Harvey Keitel in the piano. So it's Harvey Keitel, New York actor, with an Irish accent. And we didn't have YouTube in those days. Nowadays, I just listen to YouTube. You know, I'll go be in the waiting room to audition and be listening to YouTube with my headphones and this on the iPhone. But then it's like, okay, after lunch, Maurice, go see the movie during lunch. It's just playing down the street, and then run back here, and nobody talk to him, okay? When he comes in, we'll be ready to roll. We won't let it fall out of your ears. That was my expression. That's it, can't have the voice fall out of my ears. So that's exactly how we did it. It was like I felt like, waters were parting as I came back and, in silence, just to lay down like 3 lines as Harvey Keitel. And then I totally forgot the voice. It fell out of my ears.
Well, that was my question. How do you, as you're planning your characters and as you're going into, like, okay, we need you to do a voice of this and this and this, how do you keep them separate and distinct in your head as you're performing?
I don't know. It's almost like there's little partitions in my brain where different voices go. I keep them as straight as I can keep them. Once in a while I'll mess up. But for the most part, I keep it pretty straight. Where I'll mess up is when I'm signing autographs. I sometimes sign the wrong character. Now it's at the start, you gotta give a new thing. Because, when somebody says the brain over there and I'm signing a Mr. Big over here, all of a sudden I'm signing the brain to Mr. Big and I'm starting a character. So I'm more likely to lose my place, what's this called? Calligraphically than vocally.
All right, I have one question. And so there's a gentleman named Ted Johnson who's been responsible for StocktonCon, putting on a lot of the stuff. And Ted took sick this week. He was planning on being here. He had one question. I'm looking it up to make sure that I say it correctly. He said, would you please ask him about Talk Like William Shatner Day?
Sure.
Which you started.
First of all, Ted, I'm sorry you can't be here. Thank you for all you do to make StocktonCon happen. Really. Yeah, absolutely. That's appropriate. So this is also a remembrance of a departed friend. I had a brilliant friend named Bill Bigger. And Bill used to do all the promos at Warner Brothers Kids WB back in the day. He was the guy who wrote and produced. He ran the entire department. At the time, I was the voice of all the Pokemon promos. I was just the announcer. I just went, Pokemon on Kids WB. That was my voice. So, but we got to be good friends. And so we continued on hanging out afterwards. And one day, about, I don't know, I think it was just before Shatner's 80th birthday, we were aware of this thing called Talk Like a Pirate Day. And Bill said, well, anybody can talk like a pirate. The real challenge would be talking like William Shatner. You should teach people how to do William Shatner, and we should have international Talk Like William Shatner Day. He said this new thing, this social media, because at the time it was still relatively new. We forget how quickly this stuff is growing. He said, with social media, you could actually do a tutorial. And so I said, nah, people aren't. Nobody wants to know from me. I'm just a fat guy. Whatever was going through my head. Anyway, I'm driving to the airport. He pulls out his camera, by the way, not a phone. That's how long ago it was. And he sticks his camera in my face. And he goes, just tell people how to do William Shatner. How do you do William Shatner? So I talk to the camera like I'm talking to him, and I do this little lesson on how to talk like Shatner. It lasts about 5 minutes, which is way beyond the attention span of any millennial. But for some reason, the thing goes viral. What happens is he knows Harry Knowles, who has Ain't It Cool News, and he sends the video to Harry Knowles, or sends the link to the YouTube. YouTube was like maybe a year and a half old at this point, and sends the link to him, and Harry goes crazy. It was the brain declares it International Talk Like William Shatner Day. Next thing I know, we have 100,000 views. We went viral, and the thing took off, and within 2 years, Shatner himself was like tweeting out to his followers, it's International Talk Like Me Day. Who am I supposed to talk like? So it caught on, and I just kind of let Bill take it, because it's Bill's day, and this happens on his birthday, March 22nd. So on March 22nd, the next year he had all of his celebrity friends do imitations of himself. So I kind of let go of it, and but I I helped birth it. And I also found out there was a page on Facebook. Somebody else also had the same idea. But we didn't know each other. We combined forces to build the International Talking William Shatner Day page. That man's name is Doug Van Horn, also an original thinker. So it's a case of two great minds thinking alike.
So are you getting residuals off all the...
No, I never made a penny off of it. Bill wanted to do shirts and things like that, and you know, I said, no, this is just for fun. We never used a publicist. I think there were something like 70 articles across the world on that first Talk Like Shatner Day. Because somehow, because Harry Knowles tweeted it out, it became this giant thing. And I was amazed. I was amazed at the power.
You had no idea of your power?
No idea. I had no idea of my deep personal power.
That could have been a great Thinking in the Brain episode
Yes.
somehow, too.
Yes, Ross, we shall teach the world how to do William Shatner. And while they are struggling with all these dramatic pauses, we can step into the White House and take over the world. Oh, shit, we have to put it from.
I think we've got the reboot right there, right? I mean, there's your first episode. Okay, so we're going to open up. You've heard enough of me asking my fanboy questions, and I was a big-time fanboy when they said Maurice LaMarche is going to be here. I'm like, I'm doing that panel. That's me.
These are great questions. I love it.
So, yes, what we're going to do is we have two mics because the third one has mysteriously vanished. So I'm going to have you guys just come up. You can queue up here. I'm going to hand you the mic. You ask me a question, and we'll go. And you're first because you raised your hand first. Yeah, right there.
This is an honor.
Stand right there.
Sit-
Okay, that's right. No, go there. Okay. Doesn't matter where you stand. All right.
Well, since I was 11 years old, I always wanted to be a voice actor, so this is a dream come true to me.
Oh, thanks.
And I just wanted to say, I heard many, many years ago that you based Brain off of Orson Welles.
Correct.
What would you say your favorite Orson Welles film was, other than Citizen Kane?
Well, yes, because that is my favorite. That's everybody's favorite, right? So many people's favorite film. It's a genius film. I love The Third Man. Third Man was a great one. You know, that speech that he gives Joseph Cotton as they're going around in the Ferris wheel. It's such a wonderfully dark speech, and it's so perfect because they're on a Ferris wheel, one of the happiest things you can be on. And he's just kind of breaking down the difference between, you know, living in peace and living in, in terror, and how that gives birth to the Renaissance. I can't even do the speech, but it's so brilliant. So I love that. And I loved Casino Royale.
Yes.
The 1967 Casino Royale. I loved him in that. I became fascinated with his voice. You know, I think I was like 10 years old when I saw it. You know, when it was still in theaters, and I thought, who's that man? Who's that guy that goes, "We're going to have that check, Mr. Bond. The most exquisite torture is all in the mind." That's an amazing voice. Him and Woody Allen, right? Those were the two voices.
And Peter Sellers was in it.
Sellers was great in it too. Of course, he walked off the picture before he could finish the scenes. It became a bit of a cobbled mess of how they paid him off. But anyways, so yeah, I just loved Wells. But the Frozen Peas outtake, which was given by Phil Proctor, New Year's Eve of 1984. That's the thing that really hooked me into Orson. Who he actually was, you know, and the idea that here he was, one of the great directors of all time, and he's being directed syllable by syllable in this Frozen Peas commercial. And I initially started out thinking he was a bit of a prima donna. I've gone totally over to Orson's side on this, because, you know, you're buying Orson Welles, just let him be Orson Welles. Let the editor work with the timing, you know. Orson was brilliant. I worked with a few engineers who worked with him back in the day, and he had a direction to the directors. He'd sit down and he'd go, faster, slower, louder, softer. That's the only direction I take now. That's the word. So that's it. You know, you're buying Orson Welles, you get Orson Welles. You're buying William Shatner, get William. You know, you just take what Shatner gives you, and if it's a little, you know, then get your editor to shorten up the breaths. But you know, you can't tell William Shatner how to read something. He's Bill. You know, he's the Shat. It's him. You're getting him for his Shatnerness.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you.
Come on up. It's fun. Now, one thing I want to ask you about that is if you go on the internet right now, if you go on YouTube and you look for the Orson Welles piece, it's almost like your version of it and the original have almost merged into one
Well,
thing.
somebody edited the real Orson Welles Frozen Peace commercial into the episode of Pinky and the Brain called Yes Always, which was where we parodied that commercial. And so you've got real Orson and real engineer. You know, what amazes me is how well we did the timing, you know, because it fits perfectly, you know. So it's fascinating to hear Wells's voice come out of the Brain's face, you know.
Come full circle.
Very, very better, yes.
So I'm an actor. I'm in high school. I'm a high school actor.
Yeah?
And I've listened to all your commentaries on season 3
Oh,
of Futurama.
Wow.
So
I'm sure by season 2s. No, I'm kidding.
but yeah. So I had a question of any tips in getting into show business because that's something I want to do with my life. So any tips
Okay.
you might have?
Well, I'll give you that piece of advice that I heard Robert Young give on the Johnny Carson show years ago. No, it was the Mike Douglas show, excuse me. Years and years ago, I was watching, and Robert Young, who played Marcus Welby, MD, was on TV, and he said that I was in high school wanting to be an actor. I heard him say, if you want to be an actor, do community theater and do something else for a living. If you must be an actor, if you have to be an actor, then go for it with all you've got. So that's what it really comes down to, because it's a business that is difficult. I won't say it'll chew you up and spit you out. I won't use euphemisms like that. I'll just say there's some jolts you'll take. You know, nobody's path is completely smooth. But if acting is something you've got to do it in every form. I would encourage you to take improv classes, sketch comedy classes like Groundlings, of course scene study, dramatic acting, that type of thing. Just always be acting, always be in class if you're not working, because the instrument gets more and more refined the more you do it, whether you're doing it for money or whether you're doing it in front of your classmates. It's just always be acting and honing your craft. Study voice, study singing, and you know, just go for it. You know, it's not an easy path, but you know, the bus stations are full of people heading home 5 minutes before the miracle. You know, when they get the audition that gets them the job that puts them on, you know, movies, TV, whatever it is, Broadway plays, you know, or cartoons. So, you know, that's my my one piece of advice. But if you only want to do it, if it's like a hobbyist thing, or you know, you've got something else in the back of your mind you also like to do, then you know, do community theater. Still do it. Still do it for the joy of it, but do something else for a living, because it's not an easy path. I mean, I'm no overnight success. I'm the most incremental guy I know, actually. So, but I'm really glad I did it, because I truly can't see myself doing anything else. You know, it's just. I had desk jobs, I had office jobs, I had sales jobs, I had, you know, all of it, and I was miserable doing any of it, so.
Thank you. Also, will you be here signing autographs tomorrow?
I'll be here, yes, I'll be here tomorrow, I'm here later in the afternoon, I'll have a little lunch break after this to fortify myself, and then I'll be back down on my table, so.
I'll bring my season 3.
Please, yeah, come by, absolutely. So, you can come by, by the way, anybody can come by and say hello at my table. I don't need you to buy anything. If you would like to, I won't turn you away, obviously. But, yeah, I just want to meet as many people as I can, and I just enjoy doing these things. So.
What the experience is like when you're recording. Like, for example, so if you're doing Futurama, or when you were doing Futurama, or most recently some of the things, Transformers, are you in the booth by yourself with a producer or a director, or are you with the other actors as well? And what do you prefer?
Well, I'll tell you. First piece of advice that I have on that is never start to answer the question while you're swallowing water. It was such a good question. I was like, oh, I'll tell you, I'm drowning. Okay.
We killed Maurice LaMarche
We
at
did.
StocktonCon.
We StocktonCon them to death. Each one's different, and if you ask me which is my preference, I like being in the booth with the full cast. That's the most actorly experience of all. We did Pinky and the Brain, always full cast. Animaniacs as well. We had the same thing with Futurama. On our new show, Disenchantment, which I don't know if you read about it or not, Matt Groening has a new show. It'll be out in about a year on Netflix, bingeable in 10 episodes at a time. It's a medieval comedy, and we've got an amazing cast. We've got a little over half the cast of Futurama is supporting. You know, we're all playing different characters. The three main characters are played by Abby Jacobson, Matt Faxon, and Eric Andre. And it's about a rebellious princess's journey, and you're gonna love it. But we always do full cast. Now, Disney has the model of putting you in the booth by yourself and having the director read with you. And the great thing about that is that Disney has directors that really, really know their stuff and are good actors. Rich Moore, when we were doing Wreck-It Ralph and Zooptopia, comes in the booth and acts all the other characters out with me. So I do feel like I'm having, I'm getting into the scene with it. The same on the 7D. Both experiences are valid. I just have a preference for really having that organic thing of reacting off what the other actors giving me. You can build moments that way. If there's a certain, if Billy West is being particularly bombastic as Captain Brannigan, well, then Kiff is going to give a side that is equal to and reactionary to how much of a doofus he's being. When Billy was doing those Zap Brannigan tweets, or Trump Brannigan, tweeting Trump's quotes as Zap, I went in the booth with him. I didn't just send him a whole mess of Kiff sides. I went in the booth with him, and everything he said, I gave him, the appropriate. Oh, sir, no, you can't say that. It's they're both good, but I like to be in full cast.
How much improv are you able to do? Or would you do like a straight take right off the script and then go in and maybe improv?
Oh, well, I mean, the improvisation tends to come through with what we do with the characters. I don't like to change the words. I'm a big respecter of the writer. Having tried and never quite succeeded at it myself, when I read a script, I know somebody has sat at a screen for days and days and days, making sure these lines are just right. So I never alter anything. But there's things that any of us do that make the character our own. Like for instance, okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, in the episode Win Big, where Brain goes on Jeopardy to win money to build the infant defibrillator. The script just says yes, but somehow I felt that Brain would be most enthusiastic about his yes, so I went, yes. and Andrea Romano said, the way you said yes was so funny. Could you do that again? And I said, yes. And so I just kept, she said, we're going to keep that. Every time the Brain says yes, that's going to be the way it says yes. So, it's the way you inform the character that can be improvisational.
So it just says yes in the script, and
I didn't say like Y-E-E-E-S-S, which is the way I spell it when I autograph it. It just said yes. And I was like, yes. I just felt he'd be so confident in his affirmation. So, Kiff's sigh, another thing, for another example, just giving him that exasperation. This is Kiff's sigh, but we kind of made it a trademark, and he just, And where that came from was me bringing in my wife, because my wife, that's the way she sighs whenever I say something me-ish.
I was going to ask, Kiff has always reminded me a little bit of Soup. Is there a connection there, maybe, or from Star Trek?
Oh, Sulu? It's interesting. No, Matt, when Matt created, when Matt and David created KIF, the log line on him was that he's Mr. Spock, and Mr. Spock had to deal with William Shatner. And our original take on him was for me to do sort of a Leonard Nimoy sort of thing. Well, sir, the rest of the crew doesn't share your passion for the lure. But they thought that sounded too masculine. He looked very, sort of doughy and wimpy, and they wanted somebody that went with that. And, Matt said he's very tired. And I always thought Truman Capote was the most tired-sounding man I'd ever heard. And then he said, that's good, but he's also got some attitude. He's like Lovitz could maybe play him. So I thought, sir, the rest of the crew doesn't share your passion for velour. And he said, that's great, but we're not going to hire Lovitz. Or rather, Lovitz would want us to hire him. We can't imitate him. So I just combined Truman Capote and John Lovitz and came. Sir, it seems the rest of the crew doesn't share your passion for velour. And so we got KIF on that. So that's where we're going.
You all need to appreciate he just put together KIF, right? Like Legos right in front of you. Like, I mean,
that's the way I did it on the day we came up with it.
So what voices have you yet to get to do that you want to do?
Oh, goodness. It's funny. I've always wanted to, but now I believe Mark is so established in the character that I wouldn't touch it. But I've always wanted to play the Joker. And in 2003's The Batman, with Reno Romano as the younger version of Bruce Wayne, they decided to totally reinvent their take on the Joker, and I did an audition for that where they said, don't do Mark Hamill, no matter what you do, don't do Mark Hamill. And so I really kind of went to this kind of Hannibal Lecter kind of place, but also gave him a little bit of a goofy-ish kind of twang to his voice. That when I saw Heath Ledger's take on it, I went, yeah, that's what I was going for. I know I got these scars. My father was a drinker. I did that kind of thing with it. But before Heath, and there's no way Heath would have heard what I did. But that was my kind of idea for the Joker as well. A little bit goofy, a little bit airy, and definitely an edge. He'll kill you any minute. But I've always wanted to take on the Joker. But now I'm out of takes. And to me, Mark is he's the best Joker.
It's incredible to watch Mark Hamill change into the Joker.
Oh, yeah.
When he does the Joker.
Totally physical.
Now, do you do that as well when you're doing, if someone were to film you doing KIF or The Brain or whomever?
Yeah, it looks really strange because I'm very much good at the character, very much physical. Frank Welker taught me to be physical. He was sort of my mentor. Not sort of, he actually did mentor me into this thing. And I watched how he was perfectly capable of being very physical, and yet you could never hear his clothes. You didn't hear him, there's no rubbing sound or anything like that. He never let anything bang against anything. But yet you could tell what he was fighting against. He was having a fight. And so yeah, it's a very physical thing, and it's a little silly looking at times. But yeah, I get very physical. With Dizzy Devil, I was like, and Doug Regan Spengler I could not do without cocking an eyebrow. And then for the brain, I must furrow my brow and hunker down like this. There's always these poses that I get into that emulate the voices.
We have a little bit over 10 minutes left. I want to come on up. This is more about you than it is about me, so this is a one-shot opportunity. Get in line. Let's ask some questions.
All right.
Here we go.
Hi, my name's Ben. First, I want to say you're a legend. Everybody knows that. You play a million characters.
Thank you.
A lot of what's on my mind and everything. But you do a lot of screaming in a lot of characters. You got Papa Tacky, you got Morbo, you got Clamps, you got all these different characters who use a lot of physical, screaming. Does that hurt your voice a lot, or do you take a break for that every
The only one that really hurts is Yosemite Sam. Beat me up quite a bit because you can do it's. I mean, even if you support it with breath, the way you're supposed to, you're still rattling this around a lot, so it's like, oh, I hate rabbits! You know, I mean, I almost don't need the microphone. Oh, wow, for the room with it. And that can be a little wearing. The other one that can be a little tough is the porno-dealing alien from the last episode of the future. No, yeah, he's in the last episode, as I remember. So the porno-dealing alien and the belch noise. Yeah. My belch noise, which is not an actual belch, but a focal effect, rips my throat out. The one that I did for Yakko and the one I did for Elf, it sounds something like this. It's an almost Tuvan-like rasp in the bottom of the throat, coupled with making an echo chamber in my cheeks, and sort of turning my tongue inside out, as it were. And that's a killer.
Well, that
Just like that, rabbit. Sorry.
well, that noise you just made, wasn't there like an episode of where he does like an opera voice and he does the pitches? You did that yourself, or?
Yeah, that's good. That's the great Wackarati.
Yeah. Oh, you did that. Wow. Okay. And one more thing. You mentioned earlier last year how you said Billy West did the whole Zach Brannigan thing with Trump, and even Mark Hamill did.
He
do
did
that.
yeah.
Well, I was wondering if you could do like a lure quote from Trump as lure, maybe. I don't know if you know that.
As lure, rule
As
of
lure.
the-
Lure. Percy on eight.
Well, let's see what his Trumpness has come up with lately.
Yeah. No.
Are you following Trump?
No, I don't follow him. No. I wait for my friends to go. Can you believe what he said?
No, they learned
Let's
this.
see what real Donald J. Trump had to say today. Okay, here we go. We're looking. Let's see, Trump. We're looking at Trump.
Can I quiz real quick? I just want to put on my Instagram.
Jesus. Here we go. All right. I want to thank Steve Bannon for his service. He came to the campaign during my run against crooked Hillary Clinton. It was great. Thanks, S.
Good job. Thank you, President.
What's he doing? Oh my God.
It's almost like he wrote that for you, for today.
Almost, yes.
All right, here we go.
Hello, Maurice.
Hello.
I remember one of your bids as the brain, scene about the brain. And
Oh, the parts of the brain?
The parts of the brain song, yes.
Right.
Well, and I also the guy that just mentioned about you doing the burping in opera. What other routines were you surprised that would be a legacy for you in terms of like performances?
Cool. Surprised there'd be a legacy. Boy, it's so funny, I never think of what I'm doing as, a legacy, as it were. I just kind of try and put out good work to make people laugh. I guess being, known for that frozen peas thing, that maybe I might even be adding to Orson Welles' legacy by doing the frozen peas outtake. Geez, that's so flattering. I don't know how to respond to it. I think Brain himself, is just, if I think, if there's a character that I want people to remember for, it's him. Because what I love about Brain, apart from the fact that he's, hilarious in that curmudgeonly way, which is a very funny note to hit, the end of every episode of Pinky and the Brain, he's knocked on his butt, the plan didn't work. And yet every episode ends the same way. Gee, Brain, what do you want to do tomorrow night? The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. In other words, he goes back to the lab to plan for tomorrow night. So much of what happens in life, if you're pursuing any kind of a dream or an ambition, for our actor friend, I guess whose name you had go, is whenever the plan doesn't work out, go back to the lab and plan for tomorrow night. It's the same as pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again. It's just all about perseverance. It's all about that. It's all about just never give up. Keep trying.
Thank you.
Exactly.
if Pinky and the Brain might be brought back, and would you come back for it?
The second part first, in a heartbeat, if it were to come back, in a heartbeat. You know, there was a rumor a couple of months ago on the web that they were thinking about bringing it back, and it came out of Warner Brothers. So that's the strange part, is that somehow or another there was this. You know, the White House isn't the only place that has leakers, and nobody denied it. So we don't know. We don't know. Maybe somebody's cooking something up back there. Nobody's contacted my agent yet, but certainly I would be thrilled if this were the case. So I don't know yet. I don't know. We hope that maybe someday, you know, Animaniacs is doing so well. It's their #1 children's show, Netflix. It's the #1 show. It's a 20-year-old show. It's the most streamed show that Netflix has for children. And so, you know, I think it would be a great thing, and maybe Netflix is seeing that. And who knows? Who knows what's going on? I hope somebody's paying attention. Maybe Hulu. I don't know. Maybe Apple. I don't know. But anyway, somebody hopefully will see that this show resonates. I mean, I had an 8-year-old girl at my table. She and her family were my last folks that came by to say hi. And she said, "Do Dizzy Devil." I said, "You know Dizzy Devil? You're 8." She goes, and Dad goes, "Yeah, I just downloaded them all and streamed before." We just binged the entire first season of Tiny Toons. It's like, really? So this is like still, it's not a 90s thing. The kids of today, like, you know, they're hooked by good animation, by funny animation, which was Steven Spielberg's ambition. You know, he said that Disney was the happiest place on earth. Warner Brothers was the funniest place on earth when he was a kid. And he wanted to bring back funny cartoons. So, we shall see. We shall see. I'm hopeful for it. I'm hopeful that somehow or another we'll see a new Pinky and the Brain iteration or an Animaniacs iteration. That would be the greatest thing in the world.
Maybe the Pinky and the Brain movie?
That would be fun. I'm a little apprehensive about a movie because I always think to myself, they always want to recast those things with celebrities. You know, and I just don't want to watch, much as I love him as an actor, I don't want to watch like a motion capture Peter Dinklage as the Brain and, you know, Russell Brand as Pinky. That's not what I want to see. I want to play the Brain if it comes back as a movie. But, you know, you never know. These things can happen. I do know this. When our first Transformers movie and every Transformers movie there forward came out, the fact that it was the original voice of Optimus Prime, Peter, you know, that it was his voice coming out of the movie screen. I heard every dad in that theater go, "They got the original guy! Oh my God, it's the real Optimus!" You know, they didn't do that for Hugo Weaving as Megatron. You know, I personally wish they'd used Frank. Because Welker was the original Megatron. They probably got just as big a thrill out of that. So when you're going to try to give people back their childhoods, we can give them back all the way. That's sort of my little message.
All right, we have time for one more question. If anybody wants it. Young man in the back, come on up. But you gotta hurry.
The good thing about young people is they can run. Yeah.
Where are we gonna make it? Here, I want you to come all the way up here. Come on. Watch step up here. Step up.
Come on,
up,
stage.
up. Right here.
How you doing, pal?
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
There,
What's your name?
Phoenix?
Hello, Phoenix. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Good.
Just came back from StocktonCon.
Nice.
We're about to get a little bite to eat.
That's good. What are you gonna have?
I don't know. Gotta see on the menu.
Nice. Okay, cool. Well, get something good, nutritious, and with some vegetables in. Not too many carbs.
maybe frozen peas.
Watch what happened to Uncle Mo. Okay, no, right off the carbs. I think frozen peas is an excellent idea. Okay. So what's your question?
Could you do that voice from like Zooptopia?
All right, you want me to do Mr. Big? You know, I like you. I'm not gonna ice you unless it's a cake. Other than that, as long as you don't bring any skunk butt rugs to my house, I got enough skunk butt rugs. Even though we buried Grandma on that. Would you like a cannoli? I think the most important thing Mr. Biggs said in that movie, and by the way, this is the voice we recorded and then they sped it up, but this is the performance. And then they made him a little higher because he's a little tiny Arctic shrew. The most important thing Mr. Biggs says is, I will take your kindness and I will pay it forward. That's the most important thing. When you've got to pay kindness forward. People are good to you, you'll be good to other people, and that just makes a better world. All right?
Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming out to the show. Great question. And a great note to end on.
Yeah, so Maurice is up on the front deck on the far side of the building. He's signing. I believe he'll do a recording, right?
I'll do, yeah, if you want me to do a voice recording, shout out to your friends, voicemail, reading, anything like that. Taking pictures with you, signing autographs, all that stuff. You don't, as I said, you don't have to buy anything. Come by, say hi. Just love to meet you. And I'm just going to take a very quick little lunch break, and then I'll be back there. And you'll be able to find me. I'll be on the other side of the gigantic line for Walter from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Walter Jones. But I'm the next table over. So if this line's too big, come on over and say hi to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause for Maurice LaMarche.
Can I sing it? Oh, I think I'd have to pay royalties if I sing it. Somebody's gonna make money on that. All right, see you guys later.